Yo, what's good? Welcome to my regionals vlog and deck profile. If you're here for just the deck profile, skip ahead to this timestamp. No worries. But I welcome you to stay along for the entire ride from the morning throughout the entire tournament, and then deck profile will be after the vlog at this timestamp again. Yeah, so we'll see you there. Good morning, guys. Off to another regional today, South Park, PA. I'm gonna do a little vlog thing, like I did once before, just for fun. So. Yeah, usually I would spend this drive talking to you about why I'm playing whatever rogue deck I decided to play, but I'm playing Yubel today, so there won't be any of that discussion. You know why I'm playing Yubel. It's at the top of every tier list, so I'm just gonna rock and roll. But realistically, the reason I'm playing Yubel is because I've done like zero prep for this tournament. I played locals like 2 weeks ago with White Forest Runic. Before that, I played like another 2 or 3 weeks before, and then, you know, other than that, maybe just Nationals prep. So I'm still rolling on my Yubel Nationals prep, hoping it gets me through to a solid showing at this regional, but to be honest, I don't really have high hopes. I have not practiced any combos since Banlist. You know, I don't know what to make instead of Appaloosa, so I'm just gonna kind of YOLO. Hope the deck's power can just carry me through, and yeah, so we'll see what's going on. It's like 7:40 in the morning right now. Gonna head to my traditional Dunkin' Donuts pre-regionals, you know, meal, and then head on over. It's like 30-minute drive from my house to the regional, so we're gonna go down there, have some fun, hopefully talk to some of you guys. Yeah, and I'll try to report back after each round how I'm doing. And oh yeah, that reminds me, I should start like maybe a thread on my YouTube, like community tab or something, if anyone cares to follow along. But yeah, we'll see you guys in a minute. All right, can I please have a large coffee with just 1 cream, and then I'll try a sourdough breakfast sandwich, please. Super stoked getting started properly with a little Dunkin'. Always need to eat and drink before regionals. I don't know about you, but I get like mega dehydrated at regionals or at, you know, Yu-Gi-Oh events. So go ahead. Okay, there's a crazy person next to me. Oh no. But yeah, so definitely load up. I have a whole ass like lunchbox back there, and like 2 giant bottles of water, because there's no real easy water access at this particular location, and I get so thirsty I'll go through a whole bottle before the damn tournament starts, so that's not ideal. Maybe I should stop it, get some like Gatorade or something from like, I don't know, whatever convenience store. But yeah, that's a good idea actually. Maybe I can ask the Dunkin' people if they sell Gatorade here. Well yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. I'm just coming to really hang out. Like, I don't have high hopes of topping or whatever, so you know, we'll see what happens. But yeah, and maybe I can get some deck profiles from people if I want to stay that long. But if I'm not doing well, no shot I'm staying till the end to get profiles. I've never actually filmed a profile of someone else before, so that'd be kind of cool. Thank you. Thanks. Thank you. Have a good one. Alright, let's get a move on. It's really important to show up to this regionals early, because there is very limited parking at the venue, and if you don't get some, you have to do like a park and ride type of thing. Screw that, because I want to leave the stuff that I am not using in my car, like my food and all of that. So it's super important to me that I get there, whoops, not even pointing at me, that I get there like mega early. Like, it starts at 10 or something officially, and I want to get there at like 8:15. So, fingers crossed, baby. Alright, let me talk real quick about stuff I'm trying to pick up at this regional, or find or trade for, whatever. first and foremost, I'm counting on a Moltrummy Perulia because it's in my deck list and I am missing one. So I need to find one of those. I have a friend coming with one, but hopefully it shows up on time. We'll see. Other than that, there's a few things out of the Megaton that I want to find, but realistically, like, nobody's bought those, right? So I'm not going to find those. And even if they did buy them, people are also going to want the same stuff. So they're probably not trading it away. But anyway, I'll just say what I want to find. Rarity upgrades on the Yubel stuff. Spirit Yubel Secret Rare looks pretty nice. Maybe like a QCS Yubel, and then a QCS opening the Spirit Case. I think that's the rarity it's in, right? QCS. And then for, I don't know, there's a couple like other random rarity upgrades, like Unchained Shoulder Shiyama, Ultra Rare. I'm trying to think what else, like upgrades for stuff that I have. I don't think I want the Chimera upgrades. Maybe if once I see them, I'll like them, but I kind of like the Supers, the originals. So I might be fine with that. And then for just new stuff that I don't have yet, I want a Wanted and Diabellestar package. And I'm planning on using it for Tri-Brigade, Fire King. Yeah, so hopefully I can find that, but I don't know if anyone's selling that. Kashtira Theosis, I kind of want just to finish off my Kashtira deck. Like I'm missing 2 Theosis. I've needed them. I've never had them because they've always been expensive for a deck that's kind of like tier 3 or whatever. So yeah, Theosis is in the tin. Hopefully it's cheap. Hopefully people have them available. Let me think what else here. I'm trying to think of what's actually reprinted that I need. I don't need Thrust, don't need SP. Maybe a second SP would be kind of nice, so maybe sometimes that'll come up. I don't think that often though. Yeah, I think that's about it for the tins. As for non-tin items, a third Phantom of Yubel would be nice. I only have 2, I'm only playing 2. So, is this the road I need to turn on? I hope not. Don't look at your phone and drive. Alright, now we're chilling. Yeah, I think that's about it. I picked up most of what I need from every recent set. Luckily for me. Let's go over to this lane, but yeah. Let's I'll recap at the end and see if I actually got any of those cards. We're at pre-registration here in the venue. It's already 9 o'clock, supposed to start at 10, and there's not a lot of people here, so I'm wondering how many people went to Columbus yesterday and aren't coming today. So we'll see what size this regional is, but I'm registered, ready to go. We'll see what the crowd is when it comes down to it. Alright, I took round 1, 2-0. It was a Yubel mirror match. Yubel Fiendsmith. I lost dice roll. Yeah, I just opened 3 hand traps both games, so that was pretty clutch. You know, I'm playing 18 hand traps in the main deck, so it's bound to happen. And then game 1, I actually opened 3 Nightmare Throne in my first 6 cards. So it was just a hand trap board, but every turn I had full combo like that he had to stop, and I just took that one. Game 2, he went first, and he set up as his interruption because I had hand trapped twice. I had Phantasma as well, but he ashed that. He set up Yubel with Samsara Lotus on the field. So I started Nightmare Throne. I destroyed a Spirit of Yubel. He let the Spirit of Yubel resolve, and I put Yubel on the field on my side. And that way, whenever he attempted to use Samsara Lotus to negate, it doesn't actually negate, it changes the effect to destroy 1 Yubel monster on the field. So I was able to destroy my own Yubel instead of his Yubel, which was kind of clutch. So I still got to kind of, I don't know, kind of play through that a little bit. It's just a niche interaction that's important to know. You know, I didn't let him get any advantage off of that. So yeah, clean 2-0, feels good. I think this is the first round 1 I've won in a long time, so yeah, with that, we'll see how round 2 goes. Get back out there. All right, round 2 just ended. Grabbing some water and some snacks. The thirst is setting in. I took it 2-1, another Yubel mirror match. I think everything went pretty well. Round 1, I just couldn't break a board. I mean, game 1. Game 2 was pretty clean. I built a board, he couldn't break it. And then game 3, I went second. I charmied him, and I drew like 4 cards, but none of them were hand traps. So I had to play through a board with engine. And yeah, it went okay. I mean, clearly I got the W. I didn't OTK. I got him down, and then I won in time because he couldn't do enough damage. But yeah, one cool play. He had Rage, Unchained Solar Rage on board, and I set up like a bunch of Yubel monsters, and I searched Gruesome Grave Squirmer and kept it in hand. And when he eventually went Unchained Solar Rage to pop, I mean to link off, I chained the Squirmer to pop the target, and yeah, I played through the Rage that way. So that was a nice play, and it won me the game, honestly. Yeah, I got him down to 2400. I set up Phantom and DDD, and that was enough to seal it. So yeah, W in round 2, on to round 3. All right, guys, round 3 was a win against Centurion. I think it was pure, maybe some like Bastiles or something, because I saw branded regain, but he didn't open any Bastiles. But anyway, yeah, it was a quick one. Game 1 was fast. Like, I think he only opened Field Spell as a starter, and then my Ogre just cleared that, and he kind of just passed and then scooped it up once I showed engine. Game 2, yeah, it was a little bit of a grind. Like, he had a couple starters. He had Solemn Judgment, and I opened my turn with just Contact Fuse from hand into Phantom, and he Judgmented that, and then I was able to play through the other interruptions, or like set up a second Phantom, and I don't know, I won the grind essentially. But yeah, oh yeah, in game 2, like my second Phantom, I used it, summoned out a Yubel onto my field, and then I drew Veiler for turn, so I just normal summoned Veiler, linked 2 into Moon, Requiem, and then just full Fiendsmith combo after that. So yeah, successful. Now we have lunch break for another hour, so I'll be chilling, looking for trades, hanging out with people. All right, we'll see you guys in a bit. All right, guys, round 4 just ended. Took the W, 4-0 so far, so super stoked about that. Played against Sprite. Yeah, so game 1, guy goes, draw phase starter. I chain Ash, and then goes main phase and goes Swap Frog, Pitch, Angler, and that's full combo. Set up Toad before 5 summons. It was a whole mess. So lost game 1. Game 2, I went first, made a board, he couldn't break it, and then game 3 was a grind again, just hand trap war. Opponent misplayed, and he knew it like right after it happened, but I activated gates, opening the spirit gates to summon back something, and like he wasn't paying attention or something, so I summoned it back. Turns out he had Ghost Ogre in hand. Anyway, so I summoned back out a Spirit of Yubel, got a Nightmare Pain, and then he Ghost Ogred that, but that left me with still Yubel and Spirit on the board, so I made Vardodros and just won. So that was super clutch. Sometimes you take the wins when you get them. I'll tell you, dude, like one of the hardest things about Yu-Gi-Oh is losing game 1 of a match and just like staying in there, staying positive that you can still win. Because I don't know, like after I lose the first game and I'm like, oh man, here goes my tournament, like it was going so well, but stay in there, hang in there mentally, and it turned out okay. So we're 4-0, 4 more rounds to go. I think I probably need to win 2 more for a top. I think like some X2s get a top, so if I win 3 more I should definitely have it. I don't know what the cutoff is going to be, so yeah, we'll catch you guys in the next one. Round 5. Took my first L to 10 pi, of course.
deck I was most scared of this tournament. Game 1 just lost a shifter. Game 2 I won like easy, and then game 3 made me go first. I didn't set up the best board, kind of messed up. I don't know, I set up DDD, Phantom, Muckraker, and Unchained Solar Rage, like with the trap card. He just Raigeki'd my board. Muckraker can't protect because it's also being destroyed, so that sucks. So he just Raigeki'd, normal summon Genroku, go battle phase. And it's like, alright, that's GG's. I hate how dumb that Tenpai deck, dude. That deck is, dude. It's like, if you can just have Raigeki plus a normal summon and just win. I don't know. I'm kind of salty about that. I hate Tenpai. And on top of that, on top of how easy it is to play, it also plays Shifter. Come on. Whatever. Alright, on round 6. We need to win. We need a couple of W's. 2 more wins should do. Tenpai is the easiest deck I've ever played against. Like, free wins, dude. Free wins. How could you ever lose to Tenpai? 2-0'd this guy, clean. Actually made a full board this time. Made Desiree on my end board, which was essential because he opened Double Breaker. I had Desiree plus Varudross, plus Phantom plus Rage, and yeah, clean sweep, baby. I'm in there 5-1. Hopefully I don't play against shifter decks for the rest of the tournament. I'd rather just play against Snake Eye and Yubel and take my chances with my 18 hand trap lineup built for Yubel and Snake Eye. Fingers crossed. I'm gonna eat, I'm gonna drink, having a good time. See you out there for the next round, baby. Down to the wire. I lost round 7 to Yubel Fiendsmith mirror match. Mr. Brandon Freeman, the guy who won this regional last time. So good opponent, but yeah, I just couldn't pull through. He won dice roll, went first games 1 and 3, and both games 1 and 3 his hand was all engine, no hand traps. So like any hand traps I had were just doing nothing. He just turboed right through them, made full board both times. So yeah, it's tough, but hopefully I can lock in this last win. And yeah, get the invite I need. I basically need to win this last game, and I think I'll get it, but we'll see. So yeah, we'll catch you guys after round 8. Alright, yo, so tournament ended. Trying to get this GoPro set up while I'm driving. Tournament ended. I got the W in round 8 against a voiceless voice player. Once again, I lost game 1 and was kind of nervous that I was gonna fumble the bag, but luckily came back with a W in games 2 and 3. I don't exactly know what happened. Pretty sure my opponent, I don't know, either bricked or something. Like, I got even lead for my life savings, and then he just passed turn with 3 in hand. I made a little board. He even lead me again. I ended up with 3 banished engravers, so that was a little ridiculous. Yeah, so ended up winning the grind. In the end, I top decked something, or no, I like made Muckraker. He Veilered it, but then couldn't out it, so I could just Muckraker again the next turn, and then use it as link material and all that kind of stuff. So ended up with a W, 6-2. That put me at 11th place. So I got my invite. Didn't get top 8 with the mat and the packs. I mean, I kind of wanted the mat. It's a Fiendsmith engraver mat. It's kind of sweet, but I got my invite with 11th. Like I said, top 24 get invites, so I was like one of the highest tiebreakers for people that were 6-2. So that was kind of cool. But yeah, it was a good time. Met some cool people. Some of my opponents were really cool, so yeah, I had a good time there. Yubel got the job done. Like, if I'm gonna have the damn meta deck, I might as well use it to get like my invite or whatever. So now I can take a breath, focus on some rogue stuff, focus on like whatever my like Chimera, Fiendsmith deck or something. But yeah, oh my gosh, what a weight off the shoulders to not have to worry
about getting an invite anymore, and just playing whatever I want for fun. That being said, what did I trade for? I got a couple things. I got the Mulch Army that I needed at the beginning of the day, so that was success. And then I traded for a new access code talker because my Eternity Code one is kind of bent and stuff. It's kind of weird. Not good, but yeah. So I got a new one of those, and then I got a very like small stuff, like nothing big in trades. I was focused on playing the whole time. Didn't really want to trade with anybody. Didn't end up playing any Edison decks, even though I brought my Edison deck. So yeah, that's gonna be it for me. I'm headed to dinner now. I'm hungry. I've earned it. So we'll catch you guys in the next one, which will have the deck profile, or maybe I'll put it in this video when maybe I'll film it later when I get home. I don't know. But yeah, we'll see you guys later. Thanks. Okay guys, welcome to the deck profile portion of the video. If you guys didn't watch the vlog and just skipped here, this is the Yubel deck that I got my invite with at Regionals, went 6-2. All of my matchups are in the vlog if you care to see them. And I'm going to go through this list. But what I like to do in my regional reports is, before my profile, go through my trades and pickups that I got. So, I'm just going to do that. Got this new access code talker in whatever Platinum Secret, right? And then got a new Dark Arm Dragon from my Edison deck. Got a couple Pearly Ultra Rares from the tins. Fossil Dyna for Edison. An Ultra Dark Fusion for Chimera Fiendsmith. And then finished my playset of Psyframe Gear Delta. Alright. And then picked up right here Mulch Army Perulia, a third copy, which is in the side deck. So that wraps up the pickups. Let's go through the profile. As I go through this, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's not like I really reinvented the wheel here. It's kind of a standardized Yubel list. There's not a whole lot of room for flexibility, but there are some choices that I went back and forth on, and I was happy with the kind of decision that I made. Like, there's a lot of deck building ideas, like, do you play one Yama or two Yama? Do you play the Abominable Chamber, or do you play Escape of the Unchained trap card? Which are you playing, hand traps or breakers? So I'm going to go through my thought process on those as I go through this list, and kind of talk about why I think I like my decision or not. All right, so let's go ahead. Starting off with the Yubel engine, standard stuff: 1 Terra Incarnate, 1 Yubel, and 2 Spirits. Triple Lotus, triple Dark Beckoning Beast. Okay, now we're on to the only kind of questionable part of the engine. How many Gruesome Graves do you play? I was a huge proponent of 3 for a long time, and I moved to 2. And the reason is that when we get to the Fiendsmith part of the engine, I was debating what to use this slot for that I used to have my 3rd Gruesome Grave. And because I decided to play 2 tracked instead of only the 1, I was like, would I rather have as an extender a Gruesome Grave or a tracked? And the answer is tracked, because tracked is also a starter if you have nothing else. So I was like, do I want to play 1 tracked 3 gruesome or 2 tracked 2 gruesome? And I went with this package instead. So that's where my 3rd gruesome went, is into another tracked for more, I think, a more versatile card. And I think it paid off. I never found myself needing a 3rd gruesome. I also even sided out a gruesome going 2nd to fit some of my side deck cards in, because you only really need 1, and chances are whether or not you can break a board is not dependent on whether you have gruesome in hand at that point. Like when you're going 2nd into a big board like Yubel board, chances are you would rather have a hand trap instead of a Gruesome Grave Squirmer. So that's why that came out in a lot of my side patterns. I played Abominable Chamber of the Unchained. I don't think Escape is that good, and I think it takes a lot. It costs a lot to set up. Yeah, I don't know. I was happy with that choice personally. I don't think Escape would have ever really come up, and I prefer what my extra deck looks like without Escape. I don't like that it requires a second Yama only for a pop, when you could instead kind of use that link material for something else, or, you know, a lot of times you have to link off the Rage to get into your Fiendsmith line. And I don't want to force myself to pick between having Escape Rage set up or using Rage as material to further my combo. I don't want to have to pick. I would rather just go Chamber all the time. Onto the spells. Terraforming and Triple Throne, of course. And then Nightmare Pain, Opening, and 1-for-1 as the final set. So, I mean, 1-for-1 is kind of mandatory now that you are not, or now that Opening is hit down. You have to just keep your starter count up. This comes out going second a lot, like almost every game, because chances are, like, you can't risk having this negated because you're just -2 there. So that's no good. So 1-for-1 always comes out going second, basically, but going first, you want to make sure you have a starter and that kind of thing. All right, so that's the engine, and then the rest is going to be non-engine. And the non-engine, honestly, is why I won so many of my games. I had 18 hand traps in the main deck, starting with 3 Bystials, 3 copies of Ash, 3 copies of Effect Veiler, 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence, 3 copies of Nibiru, and then my personal tech choice of the weekend was 3 copies of Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit in the main. Okay, Ghost Ogre was the best choice I made for building this list, and I honestly think it won me 1 to 2 games in the tournament and guaranteed my spot with an invite. I don't think that any other choice would have been better, and for a long time I was kind of biased into main decking Phantasme because I like the card so much, but you got to take a step back, and even though Phantasme is a super cool card, I decided that it wasn't going to be actually a good card to main deck, because I figured that this region will be full of Tenpai, and yeah, I just did not want to have dead cards. Ogre is very good into Yubel and into Tenpai. It's also good into Snake Eye, honestly, at this point. So I thought Ogre just covers more matchups, and Phantasme just wouldn't be worth it. Looking back, if I look at this hand trap lineup, the clear worst hand trap in this entire list is Nibiru. Dead against Tenpai, dead against Yubel, and I never played Snake Eye. So I think this is just a terrible choice for the main deck for this particular regional, like from my experience. Maybe if I played against Snake Eye, then this would have come up, but I played against 0 Snake Eye the whole event. You guys can see what I played against in the vlog, but basically it was 3 Yubels, a Sprite, a Centurion, a Voiceless, and two Tenpai, right? So no Snake Eye came up. Nibiru was sided out damn near every game. It came out going second again, or it came out against Yubel every game. It came out against Tenpai every game, so that's already 5 of my 8 matches. It came out against Sprite, that's 6. It came out against Centurion, that's 7, and it came out against Voiceless. So I literally sided out Nibiru every single game. And yeah, I don't know. Maybe Phantasme instead of Nib would have been better. At least Phantasme would have been live against some of those decks. But yeah. But the true answer to what I would have main decked, now that I have played an event with it, is Molcharmy Perulia. I think this is a main deckable card, especially in a deck like Yubel. The reason is, like, okay, if you win the dice roll, you go first. Even if you have this dead Perulia in your hand, like, you're going first. With Yubel, you're making a giant board, right? So there's really no downside. And then going second is just insane, especially with all of these other hand traps. Definitely next event would main deck Perulia. Like, my opinion of this card is going insane. I think it's main deckable for sure. But yeah, this was in my side deck for this particular event, and Nib was in the main. But anyway, yeah, that's my take on it. I guess I'll talk about one more potential main deck option, which was Droll and Lockbird here. Yeah, same reason. It's like hit or miss. It's like 50-50 whether this is stopping Yubel. It's like 50-50 whether it's stopping Snake Eye, and it's almost 0% chance of stopping Tenpai at all. So yeah, I kind of ruled that out. I didn't even side deck Droll and Lockbird. I'll get to my side deck in a minute. But I figured I had so many hand traps, and I was siding Charmy and Phantasme that I didn't want to lock myself with Droll. I didn't want to have like Droll plus Phantasme or whatever, so that's why. Okay, that's the main deck. It was 45 cards, 18 hand traps, so yeah, not bad. I'll do the side deck first since we're on those kind of cards, and I already talked about half of it. So 3 Charmy, 2 Phantasme in the side. I thought this was the proper ratio, because if I'm going second against Yubel or Snake Eye, I'm not really, like, my main deck is already built for that, right? So there's not a whole lot I want to side out, so I wanted to side out maximum 5 cards to fit these guys in. The Nibs came out, the Unchained Trap came out going second, and sometimes 1 Gruesome Grave, or the 1-for-1, one of those would come out. So that's where I was here. Okay, and then the rest of the side, 3 Cosmics just for whatever rogue came up against Voiceless big time. And I sided it in for Tenpai going first, I believe, because I had so many dead hand traps against Tenpai and against Shifter. Yeah. Anyway, I don't have to explain Cosmic to you. 2 Triple Tactics Talent. And then this was my answer to Shifter decks. 3 Thrust, 1 DDG, and 1 D-Barrier. Or not just Shifter decks, just going first. I would always side in Thrusts, Talents, and whichever one of these is better into the matchup. DDG against like Yubel, Snake Eye, whatever. D-Barrier against Tenpai. So my thought was, like, if I get shifted, my only chance to survive against Tenpai is thrust into D-Barrier. So yeah, I thought that was the best solution. In hindsight, what I really should have done is side 2 Thrust and a Called by the Grave. Like, obviously, Called by is just better than Thrust into Shifter, so why would I not just side in the Called by instead? I think I was thinking of siding more going second cards with Thrust as well, like Dark Ruler, which I clearly didn't end up doing. So I had 3 Thrusts kind of like ingrained. I should have had the third, or had a Called by instead of the 3rd Thrust. But yeah, that's the side deck here. I was super happy with that. Let me think here. Anything come up? DDG came up once against Yubel. I think it won me a game. D-Barrier did not come up. Like, I never saw it. I didn't really resolve Thrust. One time I did resolve Thrust. It was a hand trap war back and forth. And I had Thrust, and I had the choice to either go for... Oh, this is round 8 against Voiceless. I could either go for D-Barrier to stop him, whatever he did, or go for a Terraforming to have guaranteed follow-up next turn. I decided to go for Terraforming, and then he scooped on the spot. So I was like, all right, good choice. All right, on to the extra deck now. Just 2 Phantoms. I think that's all there's room for, and it's pretty rare to get into grinds where you need 3. But I mean, it's a crazy card. I do want to pick up a 3rd one eventually. I mean, most of this extra deck is standardized already. The 2 Exceed monsters for the Fiendsmith lineup: Requiem, Moon, Sequence, Aerial Eater, Necroquip, and Desiree. I played the whole package. Not much to talk about. Okay, so for the Unchained cards, I only played the Yama and Rage because I did not play, or I played Chamber instead of Escape. Figuring out this damn extra deck took the most time of my deck building process. I'll just show the rest. SP, Muckraker, and Phoenix. I was trying so hard to get myself to play Anguish Access Code. And I know I could have side decked it, but I decided not to. And I'm really glad I went Muckraker and Phoenix instead of these. Like, using these is like a fantasy almost. Like, I think it's so fun to resolve Anguish, but it just never happens. It never came up. It never would have happened. And it was kind of just like fantasy Yu-Gi-Oh! So, I mean, I don't think these would ever... They're good, but they're so niche compared to how often Muckraker comes up, and Nightmare Phoenix was just so nice. Just to out random stuff. And then it's also a fiend, so you can go into Yama. If you get nibbed and you have a token, you can't make any of this stuff. Because, you know, Moon requires effect monsters, or, you know, unless you can get a light fiend on board, you can make sequence maybe, but Phoenix is generic. So that was super nice and came up as well. I was able to resolve it with the draw one. I summoned it under Muckraker, I think, for a draw one, or maybe it was under Rage. But yeah, like, I don't know. Phoenix was nice. I liked it. And yeah, I don't know what more to say. Besides that, yeah, I was super happy with that extra deck lineup. You know, if you're playing Escape of the Unchained instead of Abominable Chamber, you can play the second Yama. I was also thinking about Silo Hat for a while, but I didn't want to play the Brick Trap card, Angel Statue. In the end, I probably... I would be willing to try it. I would be willing to try it. I don't think it's as bad of a brick. Like, I'm not worried about that, really. So, I would be willing to try Silo Hat in this deck, in the extra, instead of the Nightmare Phoenix. I was thinking about main decking Metaltronus for a long time, or at least side decking it. But I was going through my side patterns, right? And I'm thinking, if I'm going second against Yubel, okay, I would want Metaltronus in, but I would also want Charmies in, and I would also want Phantasmes in. And then I looked at my main deck, I'm like, what the hell am I taking out for all this stuff? So I had to decide, is Metaltronus worth it more than Charmy and Phantasme with my other 18 hand traps? No, I didn't think so. So, you know, maybe I could have played the Metaltronus over the Phantasmes. It's a valid choice, but yeah, they never came up. So I don't know. I don't think it's a bad card. I just decided not to play it. What else? Dark Ruler, Droplet. Oh, I was thinking about Cross Out for a long time in the side for going first, but then I decided I think Thrust for one of the Floodgate traps is better than Cross Out. Because Thrust answers Shifter as well, and Crossout does not, because I'm not going to side an extra Shifter just for that. Thrust, a lot of times also, like, you can already play through a hand trap, and I would rather Thrust for the trap card instead of negating the one hand trap. So I don't know, personal preference, but that's why I didn't play Crossouts. I said I should have played the called by on the side, and then I thought about Typhon for a minute too, but yeah. But yeah, that was the whole deck profile. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Let me know if you have questions in the comments below. Like I said, I got 11th place and went 6-2, so super happy with that tournament result. And yeah, we'll see where this goes from here. And now that I have my invite, I can play a little bit more casually maybe. I say that, but probably next regional I'll still play the best deck that I have. If it's Yubel, then it's Yubel. If it's, you know, Chimera or Branded, I want to pick up Branded again. We'll see, but yeah. All right, this video is going on too long. I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.